Picture yourself working for a highway department in 1970. Your job is roads. Maintenance, maybe the occasional pothole. Then the phone rings. A 45-foot sperm whale has washed up dead on the Oregon coast. 8 tons, already rotting. And somehow, it is your problem. What do you do with 8 tons of rotting whale? You cannot just leave it. The smell is already clearing the town. You cannot cut it up. Nobody on the highway crew signed up for that. You cannot tow it to sea. It will wash right back. You cannot bury it. That poisons the groundwater. Every option is worse than the last, so the Highway Division does what agencies sometimes do. They reach for the most confident-sounding option on the list. Dynamite. 1/2 ton of it. The logic, in theory, was almost reasonable. Blow the whale into small enough pieces and nature handles the rest. Seagulls eat it, crabs eat it, beach cleans itself. A military explosives expert was consulted. He recommended exactly 20 cases of dynamite. They used exactly that amount, buried under the carcass. Word spread fast. A whale was about to be blown up. Spectators drove in from miles away to watch. TV cameras showed up. This was going to be something. Reporter Paul Linman stood a quarter-mile back with his crew. A quarter-mile felt safe. Everyone agreed on that. The charges were set. The crowd went quiet. Someone pressed the detonator, and the sky turned gray. The sound rattled windows miles away. For one moment, the crowd cheered. It looked like it had worked. Then something large blocked out the light above them. Chunks of blubber the size of car hoods were raining from the sky. A quarter-mile away, on the crowd, on the cameras, on the parked cars. One piece was large enough to completely crush a car, a brand new Oldsmobile, flat. Nobody was killed, somehow, but the beach looked like a very bad day at a processing plant. Now for the part that makes this story truly memorable. The whale itself was almost entirely intact. The explosion had blown outward in every direction, not inward. The carcass had absorbed almost none of the force. Everything that was supposed to disappear had gone sideways instead. And up. Workers had to move the remaining carcass by hand, after all. The exact outcome they had spent 1/2 ton of dynamite trying to avoid. The dynamite had cost money, destroyed a car, and left the whale exactly where it was. Here's the thing about using high explosives on a large, soft object. Explosives generate enormous force. They do not make mass disappear. Rock shatters cleanly. Blubber does not. The small fragments flew. The enormous main mass barely moved. The plan assumed whale blubber would behave like solid debris. It does not. It is essentially a very large bag of oil. To be fair, nobody actually knew what the right answer was. Large whale strandings were rare enough that no protocol existed. Every alternative had a serious problem of its own. They had a deadline, a smell, and a town full of frustrated locals. Dynamite felt like decisive action, and sometimes that is what gets chosen. It was not the right call, but it was the most decisive one on the table. The footage was recorded by the KATU news crew and filed away. It sat in a local TV archive for over 20 years. Then, in the early 90s, someone put it online, and the entire internet found the Oregon whale. It became one of the most watched news clips in the history of local television. Not because of the whale, because of the plan. And what happens when very confident people with very large tools meet a problem they have never seen? The whale is still famous. The Oldsmobile is still flat. And somewhere on that quiet Oregon beach, there is still a very faint smell of bad decisions in the air.